What up? What up? What up? What up? You know what it is, man. It's the kid KEKO, and I don't even this interview really don't even need an introduction. So I'm just gonna say, Miss Butler, I appreciate you getting on the phone with the kid, and I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, and you can tell people who you are. And again, thank you for getting on the phone with me. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, so not a problem. I'm Chinara Butler, wife of the great late.
No, didn't hear you, Miss Butler. Say that one more time.
Okay, I'm Chinara Butler, wife of the great late Pimp C.
Pimp C. You know when you say that name, that name just rings a bell, and it stops people in their tracks. Well, I mean, sure, you live with him, you're married to him, you guys have kids, so I mean, this is something you're used to.
Yeah. Actually, my daughter told me that the other day. She was cheerleader, and she said, "Mom, I was leaving, and a kid stopped and was like, aren't you Pepsi's daughter?" And I'm like, wow, that's funny, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know what? How old's your daughter now? How old is she?
She is 10. She'll be 11 in December.
Okay, well, she got a lot of getting. She's gonna get used to it. So tell her start getting practice now. She's that's not gonna change. As she get older, it's gonna have some comparison, and it's gonna go on for a long time to come. Because the outside of the body of her work, her dad, she got a lot of comparing, a lot of music, so she's gonna have that a lot, and you're gonna have you might even have some issues with guys, once you start getting to that teenage years and she start liking boys, you're gonna have to start putting your foot down, like, oh, whoa, give me a background check.
Mom knows you very well, Mom. Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't want all that.
Oh yeah, I'm straight like a perm. I'm good.
Well, but I mean, listen, I'm really blessed for you to even get on the phone with me. And let me just give you a synopsis of how this all taken. And by the way, Pimp and Ken is the one that really kind of put me on to what's going on. So shout out to him. You're familiar with Pimp and Ken.
Yes. Big shout out to Pimp and Ken.
Okay, beautiful. When I started getting into this whole story with Pimp C, I know him in terms of his body of work. That's how I'm familiar with him. I'm a fan of him because of him and Bun B and what they did. And the first time I ever heard of Pimp C was on Jay-Z's record, Big Pimpin'. And I was like, wow, this is pretty interesting. And I became a fan. Then I started looking a little bit more into Pimp C and Bun B, and then he had his whole situation where he was locked up for like about 3 years, and I followed that, not closely, but a little bit. Then he got out, and when he got out, it seems like, when you have a bucket of water, and the bucket's split, and the water just runs out, like a big flood. When he got out of prison, he kind of like really stuck his foot in the sand and said, I'm not going anywhere, and I really followed that. So I became a fan off of the Jay-Z, and then, Underground Kings with their music. Then I became a fan of his music after that. But
I appreciate that too. Big up to Jay-Z too, because Big Pimpin' is still what I think Big Pimpin' is still one of his biggest songs, actually. So
that song. What people don't understand, not to change the subject. People never did understand that outside of Jay-Z doing the Big Pimpin' song, Bun B and Pimp C, they pretty much had a huge following to where they never had to leave Texas to even make a record. They made a record in Texas and went gold and platinum in Texas, which is rare. That just it's a very
yeah. I mean, no PR either, like with no major PR, and I think that I mean that is one of the unique things, and just that makes them stand alone by themselves. That like even with Jive didn't really even have to give visuals or even a lot of PR, and they for sure gonna go gold,
Right. Why is that? Why is the music scene in Texas so rich and vibrant?
I mean, when artists, and I can speak as a fan too, I mean, and then as a fan of just like UGK in general, when they can speak to you and you can actually feel it, even though like, my artist's name was Pimp C. I mean, females, we still loved it because, I mean, it was, it's appealing. I mean, it was appealing still. It was different, and it was real still. You know what I mean? Right. So, I mean, how you don't like something that's so real and raw?
Right. He definitely had a way of painting a picture. He really did, and that was amazing. Really, definitely he had a gift. Let me switch gears a little, and I don't even want to dwell on it too much, but rather than speaking to someone third party, it was more fitting that Ken suggest that we speak, okay? And I think if I'm going to do anything in regards to Pimp C, or ask any questions, it's more fitting for me to ask the woman that he shared his most intimate stories with. And you're very fitting of that courtesy for me to give you a call, you to call me, and for me to ask you these questions. And then you can attest to some of the things maybe I would say. Because quite often, when someone passes, I don't know what it is, but it seems that's when it becomes more convenient for someone to try to benefit financially from an association with someone. And you know what? Maybe if that's their choice, great, fine. But maybe they should call you and say, you know what, Miss Butler, I'm a fan of your husband, and I want to do this. Can I have your blessings? Do I have your permission? And maybe, and even you can attest that rarely people give you a phone call. Then you might turn on the TV or jump on the internet. Next thing you know, someone's mentioning your husband's name in a light, and they shouldn't. Okay.
Not the bag.
Right.
I'm the bad guy. Yeah.
Right. So now, in regards to, and I mean, listen, there is a situation with a guy named Maroy from Cross Country Pimping DVD out there in Vegas. And, I'm going to give you a brief synopsis how the situation started. The situation started with, I was doing a report on Snooki. Okay. While going through, and I mean, listen, it's not like I don't know who Maroy is. I know who he was. I don't know him personally. I know of him. While going through Snooki's paperwork, I saw Maroy's name. So, which led me to start inquiring. I had a little spat with Maroy, and that was that. We had a couple words, did an interview. He really didn't answer any of my questions. Then the name Pimp C came up, and then I was like, I know who Pimp C is, and I know what happened, and I know he passed away, and I know he has a wife and he has kids. So I was like, let me ask, because Maroy's painting this picture that he's associated with Pimp C, and they were great friends, and come to find out, Pimp C did a couple songs, kind of dissing him. Well, not kind of, really dissing him.
And sucking them hoes cock, letting them keep half the money, playing the short stop. I was quarterbacking, nigga, putting a bitch out on the track, making her get down for the grind and bring all the money back. You got 8,000, bitch, you ain't no P. I get 15,000 for my choosing fee. The Bentley 200 in the house.
Pimp C really wasn't fond of him, but once you take if I take a picture with you, Miss Butler, And granted, me and you may fall out, and you know, I had an opportunity to sell that picture for $1 million. Next thing you know, you turn on the TV and I'm saying, hey, I'm cool with Miss Butler. I got a picture. And it's one of that situation. Pimp C passed, never had an opportunity to really express how face-to-face to Maroy. And from what my understanding, C was dude, if he's going to say something to you and he really wanted to say it to you, he wanted to get you on the phone and tell you. And your husband never had any problem expressing himself, saying how he felt. Okay.
No.
That was, and that was probably one of the reasons why a lot of people, you know, felt the way they felt. He would tell you, radio, TV, and I mean, he had a little spurt on Media Bliss where he would say, and that's how he felt. There's a lot of fake people, and he'll tell you, like, yo, listen, you're fake. You know, you don't call me on the phone. We don't get on the phone. We don't talk. So please don't chop it up and act like you know me.
Very much advice. That is a thing for a lot of people. Like, we know, too, that, I mean, he wanted recognition. I mean, you know, nothing from it. He just wanted to help. I mean, and like we see, too, a lot of people take people kind for their weakness. Then that bad guy, when he's talked, you know, and say, look, I mean, if I call you to do something, I mean, you call me to do something, I do it. I shouldn't have to go through circles, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess that's just his business, too. I mean, it's a raw, funky business with a lot of people.
Right. Well, you know, when you're an artist, granted you're talented, you might not necessarily be, and I mean, listen, I'm an artist, and I always tell people that I don't care about, you know, my resources or your resources, and sometimes it's not the best of business decision. Now, when it came to this Too Real, let me ask you a question. You can answer it if you want, but let me ask you a question. Maybe I'll lead into it with a question. When your husband passed, I mean, I'm sure you saw a clip of Cross Country Pimpin' DVD where Maroy said, you know, Pimp C used this footage and, you know, it was all sad. Music was pretty sad and gloomy.